guys, welcome back to a little bit of everything family. Welcome back to the Eminem Show. No, not the Candy, no, not the rapper. If you guys are new here, my name's Emily. This is my mom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Amelia Juarez. If you don't know who I am, you probably already know who I am, but you can just call me Emily on this channel. So I'm Dr. Emily. Thank you very much on this channel. So this is our podcast for our
4 or 3.
There's a fourth. Yeah, we did 4 episodes of this, and this is just a safe space to talk about trending topics, what's going on out in the world, a place where you guys can come and talk to us about what your fears are, or maybe you're having some kind of mental issue, depression and stuff like that. Sometimes it's hard to talk. Sorry, I burped. That was very inappropriate. I'm so sorry, but it's gas. I apologize. I just finished eating, or I'm in the middle. Was in the middle of eating. Sorry, I got the hiccups. It wasn't a burp. It was a hiccup. Sorry. So I want you guys to know that the podcast, what it was called, the podcast episode 4, is just to talk to you guys about what I feel is important that's going around the world. Now, it is also a space for you guys to talk about whatever you think I should look up, fact check, understand. Okay, so this is a space for Emmy to ask questions about what's going on in the world, and I can try to explain in basic language what is going on in the world. Now, I'm going to start off with politics.
Now, I'm not going to involve myself in this because I don't know anything about politics.
Okay, so because of certain decisions made by this beautiful administration, you guys can disagree or agree. It's up to you. I am not going to be political or pick sides on who's at fault and who's not at fault. I'm going to say this. We cannot blame past errors on a past administration if I'm the administration right now. How I'll explain that. I'm a doctor in psychology, and I took on a very big research project, right? That was done before by other psychiatrists, which I disagreed with. We'll keep it there, okay? Just very basic. I didn't agree with the research that was done, so I conducted a separate research on the same particular subject matter because I disagreed, right, with the other doctors and the other psychologists. And I did my own research, right? And what I found was the opposite of what the other researchers found because they use a different demographic. I use demographic areas where autism and other mental disorders was a higher percentage because of the demographic factors. They were using factors in a higher income society as opposed to a lower demographic, lower income society. So I felt a different solution to certain issues or sources or resources, right? So what I did was introduce this to the medical board. And of course, you either get a article out of it with my research, or they say, we're going to agree with the person that did it prior because they might have legitimate or maybe more accurate sources. For me, of course, I got the article. Why, you might ask? Because the article was about low income populations and the differential of resources given to lower income poverty driven families as opposed to families that have the ability to pay for certain services or resources when a low-income family can't pay for them. So of course they looked at my research and that made more sense because the article called for how do we help the autistic, how do we help the mentally unstable, or maybe the ADHD or the OCD, or maybe Asperger's, or maybe schizophrenia or bipolar. Most people living in low-income areas have lower resources as opposed, very simple, as people that live in the upper 1%, right? So they have a lot more teachers and a lot more resources than the lower-income families. So, of course, my article was posted. Of course, they made sense. And of course, I'm right, right? But we use different demographics. That was the whole thing. And that was my whole argument. We're using Boston, Massachusetts, and you're looking at the upper 1% of schools that are like extremely very well revenued, right? Extremely. And then you're looking at Chicago, which is different demographics, different areas. So how could you compare San Francisco homeless, right, to Montana homeless? You can't compare it because they're two different things. Number one, San Francisco is a lot bigger population than Montana. That's what I try to say, and of course I was right. So back to the point, I cannot blame the other researchers. They did their job correctly. They did their 1%. They took a town that was very, very wealthy. And of course, yeah, they came out with the results. When I did my results, it came back completely different. But I can't blame them for the results. They did their job. I cannot go based on what they did. I got to go based on what I know. And that's exactly how I describe political parties. Don't come for me. Just a grain of salt. Okay, take it with a grain of salt. Let's not be low IQ. If a political party was before this political party, we can't blame everything on this political party because there was a political party before that one, and then before that one, and then before that one. And all that ricochets throughout the years. When they put up policies or laws, all of it's like a domino effect. And I'll explain it very simply. You can go back to Ronald Reagan and Reaganomics, to Bill Clinton and his scandals, to George W. Bush in 9/11. You can go into Barack Obama and his administration, and then we can go into Trump, and then we go into Biden, and then we go back to Trump. Okay, all of these people, all of these administrations either had bills that weren't, properly assessed or asserted. Anyways, it becomes a ricochet effect, and so they're collapsing as we're going through presidencies. We cannot, as a society, actually believe, and I don't know if you guys are going to believe us or not, but we cannot actually believe that we can go and blame Ronald Reagan for a policy he made in the 1980s. That would be silly, right? But it is very factual. Because if he made a mistake and never changed certain legislature, or there was not a law or certain things that we didn't abide by or whatever it was, it continued and ricocheted into other administrations, and maybe they might have looked into it or whatever. Right now in this administration, there has been a lot of planes that have fallen. Mm-hmm. I want to know why planes are falling. Is it the firing of the FAA? Is it the firing of different aviation specialists? Because they were short before, and they were needing more hirees, and now you're firing them? I mean, I'm not saying how to do your job, and I would never, because I'm not a political person. But if you're short on the FAA, which is controlling your airspace and how planes are going around or up or whatever, and you're getting crashes today, about 3 hours ago, just breaking news, a plane crashed in Canada and landed upside down with 18 people on that plane. Luckily, and God forbid, nobody got hurt. I think everybody just got to the hospital. I think we know casualties. Okay, good. But explain it to me. Okay, I will take anybody's comment in regards. Explain it to this Rhino Republican how we're gonna fire people from the FAA, the aviation, and say, oh, we're going to be okay if we downsize, when we didn't need to downsize. We actually needed to hire more people to control the airs, right? To control what's going on. This is a scary time because people fly a lot. People fly, visit their family. So how safe are you flying? If aviation specialists are being fired. And that boggles my brain with what people are doing in this administration. Now, I'm not saying they're doing something wrong, and I'm not going to say that because I don't know. I don't have facts or truths. I would need to fact check all that. But to fire people that know how to do their job, and there was no incidents before, or less incidents, let's say, because, accidents happen. But these are a lot of accidents since this president or this administration took office. So that kind of makes me believe, and I could be wrong. You could say, hey, you're wrong. Okay, I'm okay with that. You could say I'm wrong. I'm not clowning the administration by no means at all. I'm just saying, shouldn't we have left those people who were experts, who knew the aviation part of the world, like knew how to run the aviation, knew how to run planes that wouldn't, wreck into like army, like helicopters and that. I think there should be more of this type of situation, or this type of an investigation. And I believe it was blamed on DEI. I believe this was blamed on this and the next. These are people who knew what they were doing. And I think that's where it becomes tricky. It becomes really tricky for me as a right or Republican. And I say this because you know that I'm that, but at this very moment, I'm not choosing to be. I totally am flipping the switch on this. I'm sorry, it's just the way it goes. Like you can sit there and say, you know, you're traitor to your beliefs. No, I'm still very conservative. I still believe a lot of the things that Republicans have done in the past. But this is getting out of hand. Like this is really getting out of hand. It's very concerning. Very, very concerning. So that's my concern. How safe is it to fly? And that's the other thing I'm saying. How safe is it to fly? And what do you guys think? Do you guys think that this administration is doing a good job with the aviation part of the world? Like, do you really feel that we're safe, you know, getting on a plane? There's been, you know, I think it's like the fourth or fifth incident. Don't quote me. I don't know. Like I said, I don't look into that stuff. I just know that there's been at least 3, 4, or 5 planes that have crashed, and there is no explanation as to why.
I don't know.
And it gets scary. It gets scary because now it's like, wait, do I get on a plane? Am I gonna end up upside down somewhere in Canada or whatever? So that's the a little bit of the politics. So if you guys want to, you know, chime in and maybe teach this 5th grader some politics, I'm glad to hear your comments. Another thing in the comments, we're gonna go. Okay, so that's politics. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. So groceries are still high. Eggs are still $13 for 12 eggs. I'd rather eat steak. Sorry, no. I had a whole rack of ribs. That was $12.99, and that was a whole rack of ribs, and they good. Okay.
Is it those?
Yeah.
They're so good.
I'm just saying, I'd rather have a whole rack of ribs than 2 eggs that are gonna be bad for my heart anyways. I mean, this is pretty bad for your heart too, but you know. Okay, anyway. So in the comment section, somebody said, wild how you like Kendrick, but Drake is trending #1 in I don't know how many countries. So I had to fact check that. You know I'm going to fact check you, right? Drake is not trending #1 in the entire world. It's actually Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, and we fact check that. In a lot of places. Not only like trending around the world, but also in Billboard, in the top Billboard for today and versus 3 days ago when he came out with the song Give Me a Hug. I just want to tell you that Drake is not trending #1 all over the world. That's incorrect. It's actually Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars who have the #1 spot. We can go back to Billboard and I can show you. It's really no big deal. All right, so here we go. Once again, because this is crazy. There you go. This is Billboard. This today. Die with a Smile, I'm the Problem, and Luther by Kendrick and SZA. Those are the 3 #1 trending on Billboard in America. Now, I don't know who's trending in Canada, but we can check it out. What is the #1 song in Canada trending right now? Okay. I said Canada. There you go.
Wait.
Okay. Billboard Canadian. Here's the Billboard Canadian. Okay, so we're going to go from #1 all the way down to #10 for you guys. And this is the Canadian hot tip. Okay, Canadian. Okay, this is Canadian. Y'all see that? Canadian top right there, Billboard. Okay. #1. This is February 15th. Die with a Smile. Apata, Bruno Mars. I'm the Problem, Morgan Wallen. #4, a bar song. #5, That's So True. #6, Birds of a Feather. #7, Beautiful Things. #8, which is new, Cry For Me by The Weeknd. And #10, Messy by Lola Young. Okay. #11, I Had Some Help. That's Post Malone. Taste, Sabrina Carpenter. #13, Stargazing, Miles Smith. #14, Love Somebody, Morgan Wallen. #15, Lose Control, Teddy Williams. #16, Good Luck Babe, Chaplin Roan. #17, Sports Car, Tate McRae. #18, Luther, Kendrick Lamar and SZA. in Canada. Number 19, Espresso and Too Sweet by somebody named Hozar. 21, The Door. 22, Sao Paulo. Number 23, Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. 24, Baptized in Fear. Number 25, Abracadabra. 26, Sailor Song. Number 27, Open Hearts The Weekend. 28, Wake Me Up. 29, Reflections Laughing. And number 30, Kendrick Lamar, again, featuring Gunplay. I can go on and on and on, but there is nothing here. And this is on the Canadian, because you know Drake is Canadian. I would figure he'd be number one on Billboard. But I wanted to fact check that because a lot of people are saying, like, yeah, he is trending in the news. Number 6, he is. But that's because people are popularizing the fact of the beef, not because he's number one and it's a good song. That's what I'm saying. Now, for you guys, it might be a good song, but for me...
What song?
Give Me a Hug. So I'm just keeping it so everybody knows that I do fact check things and I do go in there and I do my research and that's what I do. I'm a researcher. So I'm not only looking for songs around the world, which is That With a Smile by Lady Gaga, which has been at number 1 for the past 4 months. But I'm also looking at Canadian because he's Canadian. So I would think his Canada would back him up, right? Well, as you could see, even the Canadian are... Maybe his song's not quite gotten into the algorithm of Canadian. I don't know, but I don't see it. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. I'll even go even further. I'll go to like the 40s. Fat and Juicy. Give It Up. SZA, 30 for 30. Take Me Back. Tweaker, Opening Night. These are in the 40s. Now we're in the 60s. Squabble Up. Liar.
Squabble.
Twitter, Burning, I Got You. Nope, now we're in the 70s. Medusa, Give Me No Mercy, The Weeknd. It looks like The Weeknd's pretty popular. Okay, now we're in the 90s. The Weeknd, Drive, Am I Okay? Hurry Up Tomorrow, Headlock, I Ain't Saying, Without a Warning, 100 Mile Fake News. Nissan Altima, 90. Now we're into the 90s. 91, Kendrick, Peekaboo. 92, Disease, again, Make It Easy, What You Know, With Two Hands. And the last one is Push the Start. So, by Tyler. So basically what I'm saying is there's Drake nowhere to be found. He could be trending on the news, you know, because we want this beef or whatever, or people want this beef. Not me, but people want the beef. But it doesn't mean the song is doing very well. Now, when I looked at the song, it had 1.6 million views and it had about 85 or so thousand likes. And I compared him to Selena Gomez's song. Selena Gomez took out a song a day before him. And she's at 2.3 million views and she's about at a 200,000 like ratio. So am I thinking like, okay, are people just overhyping Drake because he's so popular? Yes, that's what's happening. Overhype, you know, the people that love Drake are like, oh, he's gonna get the number 1 banger. If that was true, he'd be number 1 everywhere, right? That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. So that's it, you guys. I'm rambling already. Like I said, with these airplanes going down, it's really scary. Also, we gotta give out not a shout out, but our condolences to Paquita La del Barrio. If you guys don't know who she was a Mexican singer who is very famous for the song Rata de Dos Patas. She was a beautiful woman, and she left a lot to the Mexican culture and a lot to the world because she's world known.
Mm-hmm. I never heard of her.
Yeah, we have to hear one of her songs, and she sings ranchero, which is very common in Mexico, Mexican influence. So our condolences to her family because she did pass away today. So rest in peace, Paquita La del Barrio.
Rest in peace.
To that. So that's it, you guys. Like I said, this is an open space. If you guys have any comments, please educate this 5th grader.
What 5th grader?
Me. I want to be taught in a 5th grade education. I want to know if we fire every single person who does aviation, are we going to be safe to fly? That's the question of the day. That's your homework. Put it in the comments. Please take everything I say with a grain of salt, you guys. It is just me and my opinion. I don't know anything about politics, so please don't make it political or like, oh, you don't know this or you don't know that or blah, blah, blah. Because then I'll fact check it. Make sure that it is correct. So all I know is that Mr. President has decided to fire and downsize the aviation, the FAA. And is that the reason that these planes are are crashing and people are dying. And that's what my concern is. And for me to fly, I won't do it. Not now, and not until that all situation gets sorted out. So thank you guys for being here. We love you guys so very much. Again, give me your opinion. Educate this 5th grader. And I would love to hear what you guys got to say. You don't have to agree with everything I say. Absolutely not. We could agree to disagree. But let me see what you got to say about this whole aviation and planes crashing in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We love you so much. Again, this is a safe space. You guys can ask questions. And I could look up the answers and respond to those questions in podcast number 5. So with that, you guys, thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much to the new subscribers. We are so appreciative and so humbled that you guys are here, a part of the Little Bit of Everything family. Thank you for supporting my daughter and her channel. And God bless each and every one of you. Have a good one. And I hope God blesses you with lots of blessings. And if you don't believe in that, I just hope you're blessed throughout your life. So, send us off.
Sorry.
So reaction videos. Let's go. Sending always.
Always sending our love from our family to yours. We love you guys so much.
We do. And I really, 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 really appreciate it for all your guys' beautiful comments. Everything you guys say to me is just such a ray of light. And like I said, I don't know anything about anything, you guys. Nothing. So educate me. All right. So with that, we'll end this. We'll end this with be empathetic, be compassionate, please be respectful, and most of all, keep it classy. Bye.